there is a quiet tragedy playing out in modern relationships. Millions of men are doing exactly what they've been told to do, being patient, endlessly accommodating, and entirely agreeable, only to find themselves slowly stripped of respect, attraction, and peace. They believe they are practicing virtue, but the ancient Stoics warned of a dangerous counterfeit that disguised itself as goodness. We are taught that to love is to capitulate. We are told that a good partner is someone who softens every blow, absorbs every mood, and bends to every whim. Yet, beneath the conscious desires of the mind lies a deeper, older psychological truth. What people say they want in the light of day is often radically different from what their nature actually respects in the dark. This is not a story about manipulation, nor is it an indictment of modern relationships. It is an exploration of a fundamental human reality. Without respect, genuine affection cannot survive. And respect is never granted to a doormat. As the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your mind is colored by the belief that your worth is determined by how easily you can be stepped on, your life will reflect that reality. Let us dismantle the illusion of the nice guy and rebuild the framework of true, masculine self-sovereignty through 4 core pillars of Stoic wisdom. Pillar 1. The law of the boundary. There is a peculiar paradox in human nature. We crave freedom, yet we are deeply comforted by structure. Think of a wild, turbulent ocean. A ship does not find peace in a harbor that has no walls. It finds peace because the stone barriers stand firm against the crashing waves. Many men believe that being agreeable is a sign of strength. They say yes to preserve a fragile peace. When a partner suggests a path that is destructive, chaotic, or fundamentally foolish, the accommodating man steps aside, wishing to avoid conflict. He watches her step toward the fire, hoping his silence will be interpreted as love. But true leadership, the kind that commands deep, instinctive respect, requires the courage to say no. When a woman tests a boundary, it is rarely out of malice. It is in subconscious check of structural integrity. She is asking, "Are you strong enough to withstand me? If you cannot stand up to my moods, how will you protect us from the real storms of life?" The moment a man compromises his core principles to avoid a temporary argument, he has failed the test. He has signaled that his desire for approval is stronger than his commitment to truth. Seneca once observed that we do not have a short time to live, but we waste much of it. To waste your life in a relationship where your boundaries are treated as mere suggestions is a profound betrayal of your own potential. If you set a boundary, stand upon it. Not with shouting, not with anger, but with the quiet, heavy certainty of a mountain. If she cannot accept that boundary, then she is not looking for a partner. She is looking for an accessory. And the sovereign man is no one's accessory. Pillar 2. The citadel amidst the storm. We live in an era of hyperreactivity. When those we care about experience emotional volatility, our instinct is to plunge into the chaos with them. We chase, we plead, we try to fix, and we internalize their shifting moods as our own personal failures. But Stoicism teaches us a different way. Epictetus declared that no great thing is created suddenly, and emotional stability is no exception. He taught that we are not disturbed by external events, but by the opinions we form about those events. When a woman experiences an emotional storm, she does not need a man who becomes a storm himself. She does not need a partner who matches her anger with rage, or her withdrawal with desperate pleading. She needs a rock. A man who is overly invested in every emotional fluctuation of his partner loses his center. He becomes predictable, malleable, and ultimately exhausting. When you show that you do not care, not in a cold, malicious way, but in a way that demonstrates your peace cannot be purchased by drama, something extraordinary happens. You become a sanctuary. By refusing to enter the theater of her chaos, you force her to confront her own emotional state. You communicate a profound message. I am here, but I will not be dragged into the dark. This is the emotional maturity that modern life rarely teaches. It is the ability to say, through your calm demeanor, fix yourself, and when you are ready to speak with clarity, I will be waiting. If you allow your self-worth to rise and fall with her daily mood swings, you have surrendered the keys to your own temple. You have abandoned yourself. And no one can value a man who has already abandoned his own post. Pillar 3. The sovereign choice to leave. There is one asset more valuable than gold, more precious than time, and more powerful than intellect: the genuine willingness to walk away. Most men stay in relationships far longer than they should because they are paralyzed by the fear of emptiness. They tolerate subtle insults, persistent disrespect, and constant boundary violations because the alternative, the cold silence of a solitary room, frightens them. They convince themselves that patience is a virtue, when in reality, their patience is merely cowardice wearing a mask. True Stoic freedom is built upon the concept of detachment. Seneca wrote that true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. When you are no longer anxiously dependent on a relationship to define your identity, you gain the ultimate power, the power of departure. This is not a manipulation tactic. It is not a game of chicken where you threaten to leave just to hear her beg. That is weak and theatrical. The Stoic willingness to walk away is quiet, solemn, and absolute. It is the understanding that your peace of mind is non-negotiable. If your values are consistently disrespected, if your presence is treated as a guarantee rather than a privilege, you must be prepared to close the door behind you. A woman who knows you will never leave has no incentive to treat you with reverence. Why should she respect a man whose presence is guaranteed regardless of how poorly he is treated? When you possess an abundant mindset, when you know that your life is rich, purposeful, and complete with or without her, your value skyrockets. You are no longer begging for a seat at the table. You are the host of your own life. An invitation to your inner circle must be earned daily. Pillar 4. The law of consequence. To set a rule without a consequence is to write a law without a police force. It is a useless piece of paper. When a man states his boundaries but fails to enforce them when they are breached, he teaches others how to disrespect him. He signals that his boundaries are merely polite requests. Imagine a city wall with a gate that is always left unlocked. No matter how high the wall is, the city will eventually be sacked. Your consequences are the lock on that gate. If someone crosses the line, there must be a shift in the environment. There must be an immediate withdrawal of your attention, your warmth, or your presence. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that he would encounter difficult, ungrateful, and deceitful people. His solution was not to plead with them to change, but to ensure that their actions did not stain his own character. When disrespect occurs, do not scream. Do not engage in a war of words. Speak your truth once, clearly and calmly. If the behavior persists, let the consequences fall. Many men fall victim to emotional blackmail. They encounter tears, accusations of cruelty, or defensive anger, and they immediately fold. They apologize for boundaries they had every right to set. They look at the tears and forget the crime. But a wise man looks past the emotional display. He focuses on the objective reality. He asks, was my boundary fair? Was it crossed? If the answer is yes, then the consequence must stand. This is not cruelty. It is the ultimate form of self-care. It is how you teach the world who you are. Conclusion: the undeniable man. The path of the Stoic is not an easy one. It requires you to exchange the cheap comfort of approval for the heavy armor of self-respect. Stop trying to be the good man that society tells you to be, the one who apologizes for his own existence, who pacifies every conflict, and who prioritizes everyone's comfort over his own integrity. Start being the undeniable man. The man who knows his worth, who holds his ground, who refuses to be manipulated by emotional weather, and who is fully prepared to walk alone if the path of companionship requires him to compromise his soul. When you cultivate this inner landscape, your entire reality changes. You stop chasing attraction, and you start radiating the very qualities that command it. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Let your thoughts be those of absolute self-respect, clarity, and unyielding strength. Build that mind, protect that sanctuary, and watch how the world begins to meet on you on your own terms. Stay strong. Stay grounded.